Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Father's Rights podcast. And today we'll be talking about the legal aspects of father's rights in relation to the child custody in the civil court. And today we have with us family law practitioner Pushpa Ratnam. Hi Pushpa, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Kevin, thank you so much for having me with you this afternoon.
So Pushpa, we've got some questions from the members here, and I think one of the issues is the issue of maintenance. So maybe we can start to answer a few of these questions. One of the issues that are faced by fathers lie in the issue of maintenance in order to provide for the spouse and children. Taking it in separate issues, is a father required to pay maintenance for the ex-spouse if what are the factors that determines the amount?
Okay, the amount that usually is determined by the court will depend on the means of the father and the needs of the child. So the needs of the child would be tabulated, and then the judge would look at the means of the father. What has he been doing all this while? What has he been paying for? And order accordingly. So the needs of the child would be taken care of. Sometimes the father would also have to pay for the needs of the mother or the wife if she's not working, or she has been working, but he has been in a better position to provide her with a better lifestyle. So say, for example, you have this very rich man who's a businessman, well-to-do man. He's married to, say, a lawyer, a young lawyer who's only earning, say, about 3,000 ringgit a month. However, he provides her with a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW. No, that's a better car. A BMW, and provides her with, say, expensive handbags, Gucci, whatever it is, which costs maybe 100,000 and above. Every year she gets maybe 3 or 4 handbags. She gets a holiday to Europe every year. And what else? She gets to go out with her friends, and over and above that, she gets a pocket money of 10,000 every month. Okay, let's say that's the scenario. And now they break up and they go their own separate ways. Now, the chances of this woman coming to court and arguing that in the last 10 years, my husband has provided me with all this. My salary has gone up. I'm only earning 7,000 now. But with the 7,000, over and above that 7,000, he has been providing me with this. Every 3 years, he changes my car. He provides for the maintenance of the car. He provides me with all these luxury items and everything else. He has literally given me this standard of living. So why take it away from me now? That is the argument that would be put forth. And it may be a situation where the husband may have to meet, if not all her needs, halfway. The court may take the view that, well, things have gone differently now. You are now no longer together. Therefore, you need to take a haircut. You need to take a haircut, and therefore, maybe continue giving her the car. But maybe no longer 10,000, but maybe 5,000, and maybe not a holiday in Europe, but maybe in one of the Asian countries. You never know. So these are the factors you take into consideration when it comes to a woman. But generally, the mode now is, if the woman is working, she's capable of earning, then the court tend not to give her maintenance. That's the tendency. But again, it is very individual. It all depends on how the lifestyle has been and how the child has been taken care of. I've got cases where the mothers would ask for maintenance of 10 to 15,000 every month for the child. And that's because it has been a norm that the food or the vegetables are bought, they're special food board, i.e. like what do you call this, what do you call it? It's the specially grown vegetables and...
Organic.
Organic, yes, that's the word. Sorry, thank you. Organic food, which is a lot more expensive. Organic carrot, which is a lot more expensive than the normal carrot that I eat. So you have that issue, and then it's not the Bata shoes that the child uses. The child uses Birken.
Oh,
There's another one.
Birkenstock.
That one, that shoes. Just
Yeah.
simple examples of it, lah. So do you now then change the child's lifestyle just because you no longer want to live with your wife? Why can't you still cater for the child? That's the issue. So it could be a situation where the father is forced to maintain what he has already maintained because it has been within his means, So, but the court would take into consideration that now it's a different setup for him too. He needs to now perhaps start off a new home. He would have his own electricity bill, water bill, rental or whatnot, So that is also taken into consideration, the fact that he needs to also move on with his own expenses. Generally, that's what we're looking at.
So that's where the term maintenance came from. I mean, when I was younger, and sometimes we guys, we'll say, oh, she's high maintenance. I always found that derogatory because maintenance is for cars and all that sort of stuff. You don't refer to maintenance to a woman, But I suppose now there's some legal grounding.
Financial support. Yes. Another word for financial support.
Yeah. And speaking of financial support, I'm sure one of the common questions we have here from the members is because, especially now, times of pandemic and businesses are down and all that. What if they can't afford to pay what is ordered? For instance, maybe they're ordered to pay 4,000, but they can only pay 3,000 and all that. How is that?
Okay, my advice would be keep paying what you genuinely can afford. So if it's like you were normally paying 4,000 or 5,000 and you can only pay 3,000 at the moment, continue paying. At least put in that 3,000. Send a message to your ex-wife or wife to say, look, this is what the problem is and this is what I can afford for the moment. Are you willing to accept this until things gets better? If she says no and she makes a fuss, put an application through to the court to vary the court order, but don't not pay. That's wrong. So the minute you stop paying, then you're probably going to be facing contempt proceedings for breach of a court order, for not maintaining the children. She may start contempt proceedings against the husband or ex-husband. Yeah.
Can the mother withhold access to the child? To the father if they don't pay the sum ordered?
Certainly not. Because if you look at it this way, Kevin, you may not pay. And when the court orders you to pay, you may have to pay for the last 10 months. But if you withhold access for the last 10 months, can you return that time to the father? Just as the father may be able to return the money to you, would you be able to return the time to the father? So I think what we need to understand is we should not interfere with the child's emotions. That's something that none of the parents have got a right to do. So if the father is not able to pay, I think the right thing to do is still allow the father access, but there are legal ways to get your money. Go for committal proceedings or go for contempt proceedings to show the father that you are exercising your right to his breach, but not play with the emotions of the child. Don't tell the child your father is not paying, therefore I'm not going to allow you access. I've had cases, I'm still dealing with one case at the moment where the poor father is not allowed to access his children because of his position, and he was not able to pay the school fees concerned. So what the mother did was told the children, tell your father to pay up the maintenance fees, the school fees before they can open the house gates to him. So they actually meet the father across the gate. That's quite sad.
Yeah.
That's really, really quite sad. And the father says that I'm willing to pay, but let me have access to the child. So it becomes a chicken and egg situation where the mother is withholding access, the father is withholding the funds for the school fees. He's struggling, but he's still willing to pay. So you have the children at the gate of the house. They can't go out to meet the father. Father can't come in to meet the child. And the house actually belongs to the father too. But the kids actually are holding the keys to the lock and telling the father, Dad, we want to see you, but can you please pay up? Mommy is asking for the money. So what do you say? So that is another difficulty we have. So I also urge fathers not to mess around with the finances. If you think the mother is not giving you access, you can equally do the same. Take action against her. Keep repeatedly taking action. For example, we had a case in Malacca not too long ago, recently this year, where the judge actually told the woman off and said, look, if not for the fact that you are the main carer of the children, I'll put you in prison. But because for that one reason, I'm not going to put you in prison, but I'm going to now fine you 10,000. So she fined the mother 10,000 and basically said, if you continue not allowing the father access, I'm going to continue your fine. Every access that you don't allow, you will be paying so much. So you see, there are ways around it. And like I said, the awareness will hit the judges at some point. And look at the recent case in EP4, where the father was the custodian of the children and he didn't allow access to the mother, the reverse. So we always think it's the mothers who are the perpetrators. But here is a case where the father was the custodian and he didn't allow access to the mother. He went to prison for 10 days for not allowing the mother access to the children. So it can happen
these issues should be kept separate, maintenance and access.
Definitely. And the children should not know about it because they perceive ideas. They form their own ideas, and thought processes. Oh my God, why is this happening? They create in their minds an assumption about a particular parent, so which is wrong.
And what if a father does not have the sort of finances to appoint a lawyer to speak on his behalf? Can he argue his own case?
You see, he can put in an application he can file a notice, to act for himself. He can do that. There is nothing stopping him in law from doing that. But somehow or other, judges find it more comfortable dealing with a lawyer representing them. Now, if he falls within a certain threshold, he can actually seek legal aid. Seek the help of the legal aid to argue out his maintenance application or access application. That's possible. But there's really nothing stopping the father filing a notice to act himself and be guided on how to file an affidavit or whatnot. So it can help actually. Sometimes you can go and seek a lawyer to help you just with some paperwork maybe. But if you think you are articulate and you are able to speak in court, so be it.
Okay, Pushpa, I think we've answered some of the questions from the members already, and I'm sure there'll be more questions to come. And also our conversation on how we can, create more awareness to the parents, judges, lawyers, and everybody else. I think it's important, as you said. So maybe we can have you back on the show sometime later again.
Anytime.
Okay, thank you, Pushpa, and we'll speak to you again.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It was so enjoyable talking to you. Take care.